Hey there, malt whiskey lovers. Luke here, bringing you another single malt whiskey review. And today's whiskey is Benromach 10-year-old. Now this is a Speyside single malt, and this is actually the smallest Speyside distillery. And I would expect them to be a bit more craft-oriented in that they would publish their information about. Well, I had a hard time finding what this was made up of, as far as cask maturation, and I had an even harder time finding out whether it was chill filtered and colored, and I still don't know whether it's chill filtered and colored, but I'm assuming it is chill filtered and perhaps colored, although it's not very dark. It's basically just amber in color. But anyways, it's a bottle of 43%. Needs just a smidge of water to open up. Not much, mostly just your token amount, just to get it to open up. The alcohol is not that bad. So let's have a sniff and a taste. So the nose immediately reminds me of Bowmore. It's like a toned down Bowmore. It's got that briny, earthy, musty kind of smell to it. This is a peated malt, which is surprising. It's a Speyside malt, but it is peated. And it does have that earthiness, peatiness. Smoke-wise, it's kind of... It reminds me of like a white smoke. It's not rich and heavy and wet. It's more just dry and kind of light and fresh. So the information I was able to find on maturation is that this is probably something like 80% bourbon maturation, 20% sherry. And on the nose, you don't get a whole lot of sherry. It's more the case of using the sherry to kind of give the whiskey a little bit more body. There's a little bit of spice there, like cinnamon. And then lemon peel. And I get a little bit of an unlit match, sort of the sulfur end of the unlit match as well as the wood. Not in a bad way though, it's not sulfury, it's just unlit match kind of smell. Interesting. Okay, so taste. Okay. Still going there. Interesting. So, malty initially, kind of moderately sweet. Then you get a bit of smokiness, lighter smokiness though, not anything like a Lefroy or a Kalila or Ardbeg. And then after the smokiness, I get a fruitiness like a cantaloupe almost. And then after that, it actually builds. You get some more smoke. Sherry-wise, there's a little bit more sherry on the palate than on the nose. It does have a nice fruitiness. I can't quite. It's more like maybe like a peach kind of fruitiness. Not really peach though. Interesting. It's very well balanced. There's just a slight bit of sherry, kind of a light to moderate sweetness, maltiness, and then a light smokiness as well. So it's kind of got across the board the characters of single malt Scotch, which is interesting. Well, you can spend your time focusing on each one. On the finish, it sort of fades. It's kind of light to medium length. Fades to like just slight dried fruits, a little bit of a sherry thing going on there, but pretty light in the finish. Okay, right, so Benromach 10, my rating for this, 85 out of 100. It's a reasonable malt. It's interesting. Conclusions that I wrote down here, much more earthy and peaty than I expected. There's a Speyside malt. I actually had a friend recommend it as kind of a go-to malt, and I did not expect it to be peated. I didn't realize it was a peated malt. So it's surprising. Reminds me a bit of Bowmore. I think I said that. Although it's more like a lighter Bowmore. Bowmore has a little bit more, well, it's just fuller bodied, I guess. A little bit more smoke, a little bit more maltiness, sweetness. Interesting, good bit going on. Like I said, light sherry, peat, malty combo kind of thing going on. And then it's about the same smokiness level as Highland Park. It's not the same flavored smokiness or nosing smokiness, but about that amount of smokiness as in Highland Park. Although Highland Park is a lot more sherry than this is. This is a lighter sherry influence. So yeah, okay, so Benromach 10, 85 out of 100, and that'll be that. Till next time, bye-bye.